Dear students, for the last class that I have been discussed about the electrostatic, what actually mean by the electrostatic, and also what is mean by the charge, and also that we have been discussed about the general properties of electric charges. Then about the methods of charging, charging by the rubbing process, charging by conduction, charging by induction. These are all we have been discussed for that last class. Today we are going to discussion about the very important factor is basic properties of electric charges. For the PU board examination point of view, in general 6 to 7 times asked in the PU board examination for 3 marks question. What are the basic properties of electric charges? So that these 3, the first one, additivity of charges, the second one, charge is conserved, third one is quantization of charges. You must concentrate about what are the basic properties of electric charges. You must understand what charge is additivity, charge is conserved, charge is quantized. Let us discuss one by one. See the first one, additivity of charge. In this case, the total charge on that body or system is always equal to algebraic sum of all the individual electric charges on the body or system. So far, this is additivity of charge. Let us say if n number of charges, Q1, Q2, Q3, so on up to Qn. So far, these are all present in different parts of that body or system. Then the total charge, is always equal to what we call, Q equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Qn. So far, in this case, let me take that one example. So far, Q1, Q2, Q3, so on up to Qn. In place of the Q1 that is nothing but what now the charge. So far, the charge value, it may be what we call plus 2 microcoulomb, minus 3 microcoulomb, and minus 5 microcoulomb. Like this, these are all the different value of charges, so that total charge of that particular system or that body is always equal to what now their algebraic sum. Q equal to plus 2 microcoulomb plus minus 3 microcoulomb plus minus 5 microcoulomb. See, that is the algebraic sum, so that the total charge on this particular body or system is minus 6 microcoulomb now. So, this is what we call additivity of the charges now. The secondly, what we supposed to know, let us say the second property, now charge is conserved. The charge is conserved. Conserved is nothing but remains constant. So far in this case, total charge of an isolated system always remains constant. So total charge of isolated system remains constant. Here the charge may get transferred from that one point of the system to the another. In general, what we supposed to the total charge remains constant. Charges may be created nor destroyed, but they can be transferred from that one body to that another body. Total charge remains constant. That is what we call charge is conserved. Charge is conserved. Total charge remains constant. So, for example, that I am able to give that one example, that is what now conservation of electric charge is found in the radioactive decay. For example, in this case, the uranium, 238, gets decaying thorium as well as the helium. So far, this uranium 238 decay means what? That radioactive element gets disintegration. If it disintegrates, what happens now? the parent atom, then we get the daughter atom, then the alpha particle in this equation. So far the total charge remains, say, conserved. That's a constant. That is what we supposed to know. Say charge is conserved. That's the second property that what we came to know that. Say the third important factor is, say, quantization of charge. The quantization of charge, in this case what happens? The fact that all observable charges are always some integral multiple of, say, elementary charge. Say quantized, the charge is quantized. It's also one of the basic property of electric charge. It's the most important one. Many times for the competitive examination point of view, always we are expecting that one question. Numericals, they be able to ask based on this particular quantization of charge. Means total charge of the body is always equal to integral multiple of fundamental charge. Integral multiple of elementary charge. As usual, in this case, what we supposed to know? Q equal to plus or minus Ne. Q is total charge of that body is always equal to plus or minus N into E. Where, say that N is an integer, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Say that E is a fundamental charge, that E value is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb now. See, as I told here, say that Q equal to Ne. It's a very important formula. We must concentrate for the competitive examination point of view regarding this. Even also the board examination, the 2 marks questions they may be able to ask in the examination. 2 marks questions. So far, calculation part. For example, let us say this is that one body. This body is having plus 1 coulomb charge. That plus 1 coulomb positively charged. How do you say the body is positively charged? This one that already I have been discussed for that last class. How do you say that the body is positively charged? When the body positive charge ಐತಿ ಅಂತ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು say ಆ ಬಾಡಿ positively charge ಐತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಆ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ electrons deficiency ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Means less number of electrons are there in that body. The body becomes positively charged. A body is negatively charged, it means what? Say in which the excess number of electrons present in that body. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಬಾಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವಾಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಆ ಬಾಡಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದೊಂದು ಬಾಡಿ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಬಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಕೂಲಂಬ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಕೂಲಂಬ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ using this particular formula Q equal to say Ne. In this case what happens? The Q is plus 1 coulomb charge, plus 1 coulomb charge. Say I want to find out how many electrons removed from this body. ಈ ಬಾಡಿಯಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಐತಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. See, N equal to Q divided by E. So that Q value is plus 1. Say E value is 1.602 into 10 raised to minus 19. So far, that N value becomes 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electrons. It means what? Say this 6.25 into 10 raised to 18 electrons must be removed from this body. The body becomes what now? Plus 1 coulomb charge. The body becomes plus 1 coulomb charge. Andre 6.25 into 10 raised to say 18 electrons anna ee body inda remove ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ so ಈ body positively charge ಅನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು? plus 1 coulomb charge ಅನ್ನು positively charged body ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. This is the very important concept as usually that I told so far, in which this is very important in the examination point of view. Always they may be able to ask, write the basic properties of electric charge, so that in this case one is charge is additive, charge is conserved, charge is quantized. Okay. Now, the Coulomb's law. See, the Coulomb's law is also the one of the important basic thing. As already I told for that previous class, there are three important factors in this electric charge and field. To understand entire this electrostatics, electric charge as well as field topic, you try to concentrate to understand basic properties of electric charges. That's the first important factor. The secondly, the Coulomb's law means to understand the Coulomb's law, how to apply, say what are the important factor, say what is the Coulomb's law, that all the things better you try to understand. The third important factor is that Gauss theorem. These three are, you try to understand the concept of these particular things, you can easily understand that entire this electric charge as well as field topic. So far, yes, the Coulomb's law. That Coulomb, say he explained about this electric charge concept by taking only the point charges. He did some more experiments regarding this by taking the point charge and explain. Say, what is that Coulomb's law? What is the statement of the Coulomb's law? So, for the examination point of view, that one simple question they may be able to ask, many times asked in the board examination. State and explain the Coulomb's law. Then sometimes write the Coulomb's law in the vector form. Like this also they may be able to ask. So far, in the competitive examination point of view, also many questions arises from this Coulomb's law. Yes, let us say, what is the statement of this Coulomb's law? See, electrostatic force of interaction between 2 point charges is always directly proportional to product of magnitude of 2 point charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them, and also acting along the straight line joining those two charges. So far, this is the statement. See, electrostatic force of interaction, that force of interaction, it may be that attraction or it may be, say, repulsion. It is totally depending on what factors? The nature of charges. The nature of charge means what? The charge is positively charged, the charge is negatively charged. That is the nature. So, the force of attraction or repulsion. Interaction is nothing but what now? Force of attraction or repulsion. Depends on what factor? The nature of the charges. So, in this case, let us say the Q1 is the, say, one charge, Qt is also another charge. These two charges are separated by distances that r. So, these two charges, if they are like charges, means same nature. Nothing but positively charged or negatively charged. Same nature. So, there must be some force. That force of repulsion. Because nature of the charge will be same. Hence, the force of repulsion. If suppose the charges are opposite in nature. Say that one is positive charge, another one is negative charge. Then what happens now? The force of attraction is there. So that force of interaction, what happens now? How it is related with the charges? Yes, it should be related. How? Directly proportional to product of magnitude of those two charges. F is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2. F is inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. The square of the distance between means what? That distance is that r. So that F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So then I can write F is proportional to Q1 Q2 divided by r square. Where F equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by r square. Say that K is the constant of proportionality. Say this electrostatic force of constant. It depends on what factors. Of course, the K, it depends on where those 2-point charges are placed. The medium in which those 2-point charges placed, say that is nature of the medium between those 2-point charges. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಕುಲಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಎರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸಪರೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಸಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಎರಡೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಸಪರೇಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್, ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೇನೋ ಅಥವಾ ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೇನೋ ಅಂತ, ಅದು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಯಾವ ನೇಚರ್ನ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡೂ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಿಪಲ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ದಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಫ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಕೆ Q1 Q2 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ R ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. ಇದು ಕೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ವಾಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಆ ಎರಡೂ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವೋ ಆ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೇ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್, ಯಾವ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ SI unit, generally that what we call it now. So far in this case the K depends on these factors. Of course this K equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Why we should take 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught? Say those 2-point charges must be placed in air medium. K value becomes 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. That value becomes 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per coulomb square. This is the constant of proportionality. So that in air medium, F of air that should be equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. So this is for the air medium. If suppose these 2-point charges must be placed in a medium, so these two must be placed in a medium, whatever that medium. So that K value becomes 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. K value becomes 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. This epsilon equal to epsilon R. So sometimes this epsilon R that we may able to take it as the K also. Dielectric medium we call it now. ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ dielectric medium. This epsilon equal to epsilon K or epsilon equal to epsilon R, where epsilon naught that is what now that permittivity for free space. Yes, in this case what we supposed to know, what is mean by the permittivity? Say what is mean by permittivity? It's a very simple thing. Permittivity, it is easiness to measure the conductivity of electric field. That's a permittivity we call it. So far in this case that Coulomb's law, that's the most important factor. Always you should try to understand regarding this. Then we'll go for that permittivity. What is absolute permittivity? What is relative permittivity? What is permittivity for free space? That we'll discussion now. See, epsilon equal to epsilon R. As I told, that epsilon, that's the absolute permittivity. Epsilon is the permittivity for free space. Epsilon R is relative permittivity. That relative permittivity or dielectric medium, instead of taking epsilon R, you may be able to take the K also. K equal to epsilon R, that is nothing but relative permittivity. As I told, for that, yes, the permittivity. Permittivity means what? Permittivity andre enu? It is easiness to measure the conductivity of electric field. In the magnetic field that we may able to use, we have been used about permeability. In electric field, say permittivity. Electrostatics, that permittivity. In the magnetic field, permeability. That is what somewhat some difference here. See, we must concentrate regarding this, the unit as well as dimensions of this epsilon naught. In the first PUC, already you have been studied units, measurements and dimensional formula. That is very important for the competitive examination point of view. Especially as a physics student, you try to understand the SI unit of any physical quantity and the dimensional formula of the physical quantity. Many times in all the examinations, competitive examinations, one question is compulsory. Write the SI unit of so and so physical quantity, or write the dimensional formula of that so and so physical quantity. That's the most important topic. So the same thing, you try to understand in every topic, there are many more physical quantities. You try to write SI unit of the physical quantity and also the dimensional formula of that physical quantity. Sometimes in constants also dimensional formula that you can able to write. See, the same way, in this case what? That F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Nothing but it is air medium Q1 and Q2, these two charges placed in a air medium. Then only we have been taken 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ಏರ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರೆ Q1 ಮತ್ತು Q2 ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದೊಳಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಡೈಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದೊಳಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ F equal to F of medium equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. See that 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. That you have been taken. But here, say F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 divided by R square. I want to find out what is the unit and dimensions of this epsilon. So that epsilon equal to, just you simplify 1 divided by 4 pi 1 by F Q1 Q2 divided by R square. The charge, the Q1, its SI unit is Coulomb. Q2, that's also charge, SI unit is Coulomb. Coulomb. Force, its SI unit is Newton. R square, that's a meter square. Its SI unit is, say what we call meter square. So far, in this case, say Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. So this is the unit of this epsilon naught now. Then epsilon naught, its dimensional formula also that we can able to write. Say charge dimensional formula is 80, charge 80. Say the force dimensional formula is m1 L1 e raised to minus 2. Say meter square L2. Then epsilon naught dimensional formula is m1 L raised to minus 3 t raised to 4 e raised to 2. This is what we call it now, dimensional formula of this epsilon naught. But we know that epsilon equal to epsilon r. For air medium, see that epsilon r equal to 1, or that is nothing but k also, dielectric medium, k value is 1, epsilon equal to x naught. In this case, so whatever the unit of this epsilon naught, it is same as that of the epsilon also. Absolute permittivity the unit to ಮತ್ತು ಪರ್ಮಿಟಿವಿಟಿ ಫಾರ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್ ಅದರ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಟು ಡೈಮೆನ್ಷನಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರ್ತಾವು. ಬಟ್ epsilon r means dielectric medium, that k is the dielectric medium, or epsilon r is the relative permittivity. You must know that relative permittivity is no dimensional formula and also no unit. So that is also very important. In the examination, sometimes we may be able to ask, write the SI unit of this epsilon r or k value. Write the SI unit and dimensional formula for that k value. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ನೀವು? It is a dimensionless. So you won't have that unit because same unit ratio, hence it is unitless. That's what we are supposed to. See, after this particular concept, let us discussion that Coulomb's law in the vector form. Before that I would like to explain that one more thing about the value of relative permittivity epsilon r is always constant for the medium. For that any medium, its value is constant. This value between say that 1 to infinity. Say relative permittivity ಅಥವಾ dielectric constant value fix ಇರುತ್ತೆ. In between 1 to infinity level fix ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ. See, for vacuum by definition it is almost equal to say that 1. For that air, say it is nearly equal to 1. See, that's what now. Say by the definition for vacuum, see the vacuum as well as in air medium. You know the difference? Vacuum andru gottu, air medium andru gottu. Hauda? For that vacuum, by the definition, it is equal to 1. For it is nearly equal to 1. For what? That air medium. See the difference? These two particular conceptions in this case. But it may be taken to be equal for the calculation purposes always. So for the metals, the value of epsilon r, the dielectric constant for metals is almost we can able to say that is infinity. Water, it is for 81. For the Coulomb's law, the vector form. Now the Coulomb's law in a vector form, this one also they may able to ask in the examination for the 2 marks question. The question is, write the Coulomb's law in the vector form, give the explanation of the terms. It's a simple expression. F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 divided by r square into that unit vector. Say the position unit vector it is. So far, it is for that air medium in this expression. So that r is a unit vector, it is always in the direction of force only. Q1 and Q2 are the magnitude of charges. R is the distance between those two charges. But we know that one of the important factor in this case, say the same expression, that also we can able to write that F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon. Say these 2 point charges placed in an air medium. If in the medium 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon r q1 q2 divided by say modulus of r cube, and it is vector. Say position vector. This r is the position vector. This is what now the position vector. In this way also that we can able to write say this Coulomb's law. So in the vector form. Next the concept is the definition of the unit charge. How to define this unit charge? We have that relation F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 divided by r square. It's an air medium. Say this is what now in the medium. It's a vector form. The Coulomb's law in the vector form, we can write this is in medium, this is air medium. In the same way, let us discussion about the unit charge. F equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 divided by r square. Say this 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon, that value is 9 into 10 power 9. q1 q2 divided by r square, that is the unit is. See, if the q1 and q2, the charges plus 1 coulomb charge, same identical charges, separated by distance is 1 meter. The force of repulsion. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಕುಲಂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇದೆ. q1 ಮತ್ತು q2 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 1 ಕುಲಂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸೇಮ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲ ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಪಲ್ಸಿವ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ? 9 into 10 to power 9 ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ this much of repulsive force between those two identical charges. We can able to define how the unit charge is defined as that charge which is repelled by that force 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton when placed in a free space at a distance of 1 meter, say from that identical charge. This is nothing but what we call that unit charge. It's a very simple one. We know that Coulomb's law, Q1 and Q2 value is plus 1 Coulomb charge, separated distance is 1 meter. Just to substitute those values, we have got 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton, that is the force. Enta force adu repulsive force. Andre, eradu same charge, identical charges. Estidavu plus 1 Coulomb charge, separated by distance is 1 meter. Elle vacuum or air medium place ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ repulsive force ಏನಿರ್ತದ 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton. It's a very simple one. Unit charge, that is simple one. Two identical charges separated by distance, that's a unit distance. The repulsive force is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton. This is what I say for the unit charge. As we know that the charge, very first class only that we have discussed. Yes, the charge is the scalar quantity. You know the difference between scalar and vector? The scalar having only the magnitude. Vector, it should have both magnitude as well as direction. The charge is always the scalar quantity. Its SI unit is the Coulomb. The charge, symbolically we can able to represent Q, that already have been used. See, this Coulomb, the definition of this Coulomb, that's what? 1 Coulomb is the charge flowing in a 1 second across a cross section of the conductor carrying the current of 1 ampere. This is the definition of the Coulomb. Sometimes we will ask in the examination, say, define SI unit of the charge. Define SI unit of the charge means what? You must be able to define the Coulomb. Coulomb anna define now ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಸಾರಿ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಂತೂ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಿನೇಷನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಿದಾನ ಕುಲಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ ಅಂತ 2 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ, ಒಂದು 3-4 ಸಲ ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ. You have to concentrate about this particular concept. Say that today what we have been discussed, yes, about the Coulomb's law, properties of electric charge, basic properties of electric charges, and Coulomb's law, and the next one, the permittivity for free space, dielectric medium, that's what, and also say units and the dimensions of permittivity for free space epsilon, and then say Coulomb's law in the vector form, and unit charge, definition of the Coulomb, that all these concepts that we have been discussed in this session.